To call the meeting together to order. This is the May 7th, 2024. Ulysses Town Planning Board. And we'll start the meeting off with a roll call for everyone. Rebecca Schneider.
Gart Greg.
Linda Little, chair for today.
Carl Plankowski, alternate.
Oakline. Remember to make the voting.
Oh, right. You're not an alternate today. That's right. You're an
Well,
alternate.
once you say I gotta participate.
Yes. Yeah, so we have, okay, so do we have a motion?
Yeah,
to
I'll make a motion. yes.
Thank
Second.
you. Second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're
No more-
voting.
no more hiding.
No more alternate for you. All right, so to review the agenda, we have, first on a public hearing for the Bartashovich 3-lot, land, subdivision, then a sketch plat review, for the Bennett, that lot, but we're going to remove that, right?
Yes.
From the agenda.
We haven't received any materials.
Yeah, okay, so we'll take that one off. And a final plan review for the new and Dyke accessory structure. And a continued review of Moore's Marine zoning code amendment request for development district.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda without the Bennett.
There's one other addition we want to add.
Mhm.
I think, and that's a discussion at the end of the meeting on the ag district.
Yep, on that parcel that was in the conservation zone and what.
Yeah.
why-
Oh, okay, so add
So
that
I'm
to the,
gonna have-
add that to the agenda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, right,
Okay.
it's okay. Okay, so as I meant, include that as well?
Yes, include that, please.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we'll start the minute with the meeting with the privilege of the floor.
No, don't we have to do approval of past minutes?
And then second, next, yes, we'll do that next. So did everybody get a chance to take a look at them?
Mhm. Yep.
Anybody have any updates, corrections?
No.
They look great, Molly. So.
Yeah.
As usual. So, motion to accept the minutes.
Rebecca?
Thanks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, now we'll do privilege of the floor. So what we want to do in privilege of the floor is any members of the public who would like to comment on a topic that is not part of a public hearing tonight for the 2 public hearings that we have. We give folks time to make their comments. We would like you to state your name and address for the record. And you're allowed 3 minutes of time. And we're going to alternate, we will try alternating back and forth between the online and folks in the room here with us. So if you're not here for a public hearing, if you're here for one of the public hearings, just save your remarks for the public hearing and we'll do the same routine for that part of the meeting as well. So is there anyone in the audience in the room that would like to make a comment? All right, is there anyone online who'd like to make a comment for the planning board? Only one person and she shook her head, so we're good.
Well, then I'll make a motion to close privilege of the floor.
Thank you. All
Second it.
in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. So the next topic then will be moving right into the Bartashovich major subdivision. Subdividing 17.75 acre lot into 3 lots. Parcel A is approximately 5.41 acres. Parcel B is approximately 7.6 acres. Parcel C is approximately 4.8 acres. Per the code of the town of Ulysses, a subdivision of land resulting in 3 or more lots, including a parent lot, from the same original parent lot within 3 years is considered a major subdivision. The AR zone requires a minimum lot area of 2 acres, 200 feet of lot depth. And 400 feet of lot width at the front line, and up to 2 flag lots are permitted in the AR zone. So before we open the public hearing, Mrs. Bartoshevich, I know you're online. Do you have anything you'd like to say to review your project?
I think it's fairly self-explanatory. I think we talked about it at the last meeting in April. I'm dividing off 2 parcels for my children. And I'm going to retain my lot where I live on the main part of the property, and separating out 2 parcels just above my land. My son should be there in the meeting, and he is hoping to purchase the lot. He's had a campsite running in the woods since he was about 19 in that location. He loves the land. He's got a little grass driveway sort of that he's maintained over the years, and he's at a point now where he has a family and would like to build a house.
Great. Thank you. So, with that review, think we can open the public hearing now. And once again, as I stated before, if you're going to speak in the public hearing and make a comment about the subdivision, please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to make your comment. And once again, we'll alternate. Well, we don't have to alternate, we'll just have people in the room here today. So the hearing is now open. Does anyone in the room have here for the public hearing on the Bartoshevich subdivision? Would you like to make a comment again?
And nothing more than just elaborating on what my mom said. It's just, I grew up in the area, and looking to be good stewards of the land.
Thanks, great.
Could I just ask a question? Because she mentioned children and it was just the mention of you and the land. What happens to the other parcel?
I think she has other children.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there's.
I'm the oldest of 4.
So there's.
It'll be a Texas cage match. For the rest of
Right.
the-
Anyways. All right, any other comments? Right,
I'll make a motion to close it.
Second.
all in favor to close the public hearing?
Aye.
All right, the hearing is closed. So now we'll move to additional discussion among the board. Do we have any more questions for the Bartoshevich?
No.
No, we covered it very well last time.
Okay, so are we ready to deal with the resolutions
Yes.
and approval? Okay. All right, so the first is the seeker. We need a resolution for the seeker determination. And they were sent out, hopefully you had a chance to read them, so I'll just jump to the resolution part. So. And virtually, we're saying that there's no adverse environmental implications, so. Now, therefore, the planning board resolves the following, that the town of Ulysses Planning Board hereby makes a negative determination of environmental significance in accordance with Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law. And 6, NYCRR Part 617, New York State Environmental Quality Review for the above referenced action as proposed based on the information in the short environmental assessment form. And therefore, an environmental impact statement will not be required. So there a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Second, Rebecca.
Okay, any discussion on the seeker? Okay, all in favor of accepting the seeker? Aye. And so the seeker has been approved. Molly, you. Of course she is. Now we have the resolution to approve the subdivision. And once then, so now going to the resolution portion of the resolution. The planning board hereby grants preliminary subdivision approval for the proposed major subdivision as described above and as shown on the map noted above, subject to the following conditions. And the conditional approval is that the applicant shall submit a complete final plat application with all application fees within 6 months of this preliminary approval that addresses all of the planning board's required modifications to the proposed plat. All lot corners shall be marked on the ground with a pin, pipe, or monument by a licensed land surveyor. A motion to accept the resolution.
Wait, yeah.
Oh,
Real quick. So that highlighted portion
Yeah.
that addresses all planning board's required modifications. If the board doesn't have any modifications, just strike that out.
So I struck that, that's struck it out.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Nancy.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't. Okay. So a motion to approve the resolution,
Yeah,
Thanks.
second.
second. All, any discussion? All right. All approved?
Aye.
Right. The subdivision's complete. You just need to get with Niels. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Good job. All right. So the next is another public hearing. This time is for a site plan acceptance of the new accessory building. The applicant, Lee Dresser, on behalf of the owner, is Lee here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great. On behalf of the owner, Joe Newendike, proposes to construct a new detached accessory building approximately 576 square foot with a covered 8-foot deep patio. Per the code of Town of Ulysses, accessory buildings are permitted in the lakeshore zone, subject to the provisions of, but require site plan review within a slope overlay pursuant to the provisions listed. The purpose of our time today is for the planning board to conduct the public hearing and receive public comment and review the proposal in respect to state and local laws and regulations. So, Mr. Dresser, do you want to give a quick synopsis of what's going on?
Sure. The property is a 4-acre tract, that's long and narrow, goes down to runs on Route 89 and runs down to Cuba Lake. The accessory buildings, in about the middle, and about the only person that'll see it is probably, Joe, when it's done. That property was surveyed by, my, office and, a plan prepared for the improvement.
Okay. Good. So, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone in the room who'd like to make a comment? The last I heard, we hadn't received any written comments, correct?
I can just say that, my wife and I love it here, and we're empty nesters now, and a lot of our current storage is taking up our 3 college kids, so this would be very helpful for us to have a little bit of room to put our lawn equipment, and stuff like that. And we would be good stewards of the land as well.
Nice comment. Good. Okay, motion to close the public hearing.
Yep.
Thanks.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Right.
Right, the hearing is closed. We can move to any board discussion on this project?
No comment.
Everybody good? All right, so we're ready to move to the resolution.
It's number 9.
Number 9, thanks. So moving to the resolution, portion of the resolution. The conditions, now therefore, the planning board resolves the following. The planning board hereby grants site approval for the proposed site plan as described above and as shown on the site plan noted above. The subject to the following conditions. And they are: 1, temporary erosion and sedimentation control measures for construction activity must be operational prior to commencement of any clearing or earthwork. 2, any grading fill on the site will be done so as to not impact the surrounding properties. And 3, all exposed ground must be reseeded within 30 days of the completion of construction. If reseeding is not practical due to weather, seasonal restraints, the ground must be covered with mulch. A motion to accept the resolution? Sure.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All right, any discussion? All right, we're ready to vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And the resolution's been approved, so the site's ready for building. Thanks. Almost, I guess you have to work with Neil's.
Get building permits,
Yeah.
small thing.
What's the time frame on that? I was just curious as far as come see you now at a time and get his plans for the building.
Yeah, as long as, I don't know if you've had any further conversations with Mark as far as what he needs for his review, but if he's good to go, then we should. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very
Good
much.
job.
You guys.
Good luck, guys.
And last but not least, we'll move on to Moore's Marine. Yeah. To the right.
So it's not a, I don't believe it's a public hearing.
No, I had a note. I don't have it here. I was just gonna read off the description of it. Huh. What did happen to it? Oh, here it is. So Brian Moore proposes to construct a new covered lean-to structure approximately 24 by 40 that will be attached to the existing building located on site at Moore's Marine. The development standards for the subject site zoning, Development District 8, also known as Moore's Marine, are listed in the code of the town of Ulysses. The proposal to construct the lean-to, though attached to the existing structure, is considered a building by zoning code definitions and requires a building permit. So the building is defined as any structure having a roof supported by columns, posts or walls, and structure is defined as in part as anything that is constructed or erected on the ground or upon another structure or building. The proposal will be located in areas regulated for parking and currently regulated for parking and boat storage. So do you want, and you gave us some more new plans.
Yes.
Would you like to go over those,
So,
Brian?
basically, I kind of sent 2 options. One was kind of early on, just because I felt it was kind of expedited, like I was like afraid I wasn't gonna meet the deadline. You guys
Oh.
were saying you wanted to have like 10 days, you know, the plans in your hand, at least 10 days, so you can review it.
Yeah,
before the time. But I didn't realize that it was actually a 3-week. The next meeting from last time was 3 weeks instead of 2. So I was kind of rushing around with my engineer, who's Jason McCormick from Geneva. And was trying to get with him and he's trying to rush around for me. So he just kind of came up with this one option, which is like a French drain kind of option. That would cover the area of the roof, the lean-to roof that we're putting on there. Between the roof and the the buffer zone for the creek that we're concerned about. So,
Okay.
so that's why that was there. And then I was like, well, hold on, you know, now that I know we got another week, I contacted him. And so now we kind of got a plan in place where it's more in line with what actually more, Klein suggested, actually, all you guys are kind of suggesting, just to kind of do a trench underground, attaching to the southeast downspout from the lean-to roof.
Yeah.
Going underground and heading east, which is basically to our lower parking lot. And so that's what we did. So I got plans. I think you guys got everything, but it's just basically showing you know, that we're tying in there. We're gonna be, it's about 90-foot long trench that we have to dig. And it's gonna be perforated pipe. It's gonna be, I think it's called like PVC 40 or something, because our other concern was like, it's actually called Schedule 40 PVC. It's kind of like a really heavy duty plastic pipe that can handle loads.
Yeah,
Because this is a parking lot that we have, and we have
Yeah.
big boats and stuff going, so we don't want anything getting crushed or,
Yeah, right.
you know, so, so it's, we've researched that, that's what we're gonna use. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much, the other thing was, there was a couple of questions brought up about location of our septic, location of our leach field. By the site, survey map thing we have here, it says septic down, like on the lower portion. That's actually our leach field. Like that area is our leach field. The septic is actually up on the north side of the building.
Oh,
So,
okay.
which I should know,
Yeah.
I have to dig it up every 3 years to have them pump it out. But anyway, so that's really my only concern is running this drain out there is I got my leach field,
Right.
right, for my septic. And then, of course, I got my lower parking lot, which I don't wanna,
Hold on.
you know, I don't wanna wash off my parking lot, but. So what we had done at that time is we put like it's like a little ditch. That's because literally we have a hill, like, once our upper parking lot ends, it's a hill that goes down. It's probably about anywhere from 25 to 35 feet, depending on because the way the land's shaped, that's narrower at one end and longer at the
Yeah,
other.
right.
And that ditch is probably about 60 feet long. And what we put that there for was for any runoff then, just when we had the lower parking lot put in, it was what our contractor suggested.
Okay.
Because we didn't want that washed off. So anyway, so that's what we're looking to do, because being that where the pipe's gonna be coming out of this hillside, right?
Right.
For the down, the stormwater, it's gonna be basically going across just down the whole hill and running into this ditch, you
And the
know?
ditch goes perpendicular to it
Yes.
and goes,
Well, the ditch is actually, no, it's not perpendicular, so the ditch is perpendicular to the drain, but the ditch is parallel to the back parking.
so
And
where
it's-
does it?
And it's perpendicular to the creek.
Perpendicular, so does it, but it doesn't terminate in the creek? Or
Right.
does it?
Yeah.
It does.
No,
terminate.
no.
It doesn't.
No, so
Okay.
it's kind of crazy, like when we had that lower parking lot done, we had a driveway put in on the south side of the building. And that driveway's only usable for just cars because it's so steep,
Yeah,
but it's all filled in with dirt there, like everything it's built up, you know, it's kind of too steep. So we can't really use boats there, we're only using the one parking lot, or one driveway on the other side for boats.
oh, okay.
So yeah, that pretty much everything's gonna, like, cause that's built up so high, everything's gonna like, nothing's gonna be able to
Go into
get over
next-
to the creek, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Right,
the only other thing we could do that to add to the ditch is, I mean, originally we did have some stone in there, but we could add more stone if we wanted to.
okay.
But,
If
and
it
I've
looks
never
like it's
seen, like the
raining.
ditch, I've never seen. You hardly ever, even if I have range, you ever see anything really laying there, you
Okay,
know,
well,
but.
that's good.
But, so that's what our plan is, as far, obviously, I was a little bit uptight with knowing I had to dig a 90-foot trench, you know, under my
Yeah.
parking lot and stuff, but, after talking to somebody that can do the work and stuff, you know, they seem to think that, you know, it's not too big of a deal, it's a nice straight shot.
Yeah.
We're gonna angle it, you know, actually angle it away from the creek, so it's gonna be kind of pointing. You know, I don't know how you wanna say it, but it's just gonna be
Yeah, right. No, I get.
running basically parallel with the creek, but angled away, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah,
Okay.
that's the game plan at this point, like, that's what we're shooting for, and I don't know what more. I know Mo mentioned something about having like a pit put in, you know, with the rocks and stuff, but it's like, it's all hill, it's like just nothing but hill there. So, and the only place where you got any like, I don't even wanna say flat area, but area where you can kind of have like a levelish kind of area to have a pit, is right where our leach field is.
Yeah.
And we're already very
You already
careful
took
with
advantage
that
of it.
because we don't want people putting boats or anything like that on there.
Mm.
It's, you know,
That's for sure.
we're trying to,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
really put time into it.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
good job.
So I'm just looking at the map, the red line is the pipe that's going out and it's gonna go out to where you store your boats.
yes, yeah.
I know, is that gonna be a problem with the washout going that way?
Well, I'm hoping not. I mean, you know, time's gonna tell. I mean, if it does, then I might have to do something bigger there, but, like I said, that ditch, it's always been dry now, but obviously
Yeah.
we're introducing storm, you know, roof water.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that this roof, of course, we don't have drains put up yet,
Yeah.
or gutters put up
Yeah,
yet, you know, because we're waiting for, we get approval for this lean-to. So the actual big roof that's there, which is the 50 by 100
Yeah.
roof, right? That's gonna have a gutter that's gonna be going all the way across. It's already gonna be going,
Yeah,
you know, like it is now.
Hmm.
And then you're gonna have an additional gutter for just the lean-to. So the stormwater runoff is only gonna be what's coming off of just the lean-to. It's not gonna be what's coming
Right.
off the big roof
yeah,
and onto the lean-to. And then so that would be probably, I have a little more concern with how much water we would be putting in that area. If that was the case.
I don't expect you're gonna see a lot of water that comes off of it, but as long as it doesn't go into the creek, that's all we're concerned.
I
about.
know, yeah.
That was, and it looks good here. I mean, I don't see anything.
And the other thing we're fighting with the creek is, I know Rebecca mentioned that it looks like the buffer is like getting smaller and stuff. I mean, we physically have not done anything to it. The only thing is, over time erosion.
Yeah,
Is that,
Oh,
if you
right.
ever look there, that they just put in a new pipe under the road there, the town did.
Yeah.
And I actually spoke to them when they did it, because you can see, if you look at the aerial map, where you can kind of see where it's kind of like, you know, you can see where the water has been hitting and it's
yeah,
eroding.
it's eroding.
So they put big stone in there, big stone.
Okay.
Yeah, and like a big portion of that because the way that pipe comes through, it angles right to
Right to
our,
the wall.
right to
Yeah.
our wall. It doesn't like come straight, you know, straight down.
Right.
So it's just kind of, and they did whatever they could to get, you know, get the pipe angled more to the other way, but there's only so much they can do.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was looking at it earlier, that looked
It's, you can
strange,
see where it's,
that-
yeah, it's kind of eroding away there.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, the only thing they can do is keep putting stone in when it
Yeah.
erodes.
Yeah, I know.
And it's their responsibility.
But I was glad that I caught them because they had no problem with it. They did it. It looked great and
Hmm.
it's been there. They did this like 2 years ago now, so.
And that was the town of Ulysses.
Yep.
Okay.
It might have been county.
Think so?
I think it might have been.
The county, oh, that's right, the voice is a county road.
Yeah, because if it was town, I would have known who the.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm pretty
you're
sure-
right.
I'm pretty
It's-
sure it was county.
It is.
We're kind of in a weird place because we're town of Ulysses, but city school or Ithaca City School District.
Yeah.
So, yep.
No, the whole road is county. I should know that.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, then you have to stay on. That's good.
So I'm okay with it. I'm very pleased with what they've done and
Yeah.
are doing. Mo, you brought a good solution. I'm good with this.
Yeah, so am I.
All right, any other discussion? Nope.
I do have a question, if I could ask really quickly. So if this is approved and we're able to move forward, do we have a follow-up process where we come back and you guys would take pictures, send them to you? We did before just because we were following up, but
Well, one discussion we have to, that we haven't gotten to yet is whether to do a public hearing or not.
right, yeah, no, I meant like if everything
Oh, okay.
goes at the end of this. Last time we came back and we gave pictures and stuff of what the trees we planted.
Right.
and
Let's
so-
have a follow-up.
So that's the thing,
Right.
do you need a follow-up? Does somebody need to come? Niels, do you need to come and see when we've dug the hole and that we put the right
He
fill in?
wouldn't, but Mark probably would, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So,
Okay,
but, I don't know.
So I can talk big picture, everything, process that up. So the planning board doesn't have to schedule a public hearing for this if you don't want to, but you can. Whichever direction you choose, it has to go to the town board for their final decision. So if the town board approves it, and if the planning board hasn't conducted a public hearing and doesn't do site plan approval, it still has to come back here to the planning board for final site plan review.
Oh, again.
So if you, yeah,
Wait, so it goes from us to the town, then it comes back to us?
Because it's a development district.
Right.
it's.
Oh, yeah.
However, there's a caveat though, the way the code's written is if you can issue basically a conditional approval on the site plan. So you would condition, like if the planning board grants approval, it'd be a condition that the town board also has to grant approval. Then you guys don't have to come back to the planning board, if that makes sense.
Well, does it make sense? Because the town board could run the hearing as well. Does it
Yep.
make sense for us to do it rather than, or let them do it?
Does the town board have to have it?
The town board does.
Yeah.
So if you,
Oh, if they do, for sure.
Yeah, then
So
we don't.
basically Neil's just saying we can take our thirds that come back to us out if we approve it.
Yeah.
With,
A conditional,
right,
yeah.
So that makes it shorter, let's do that. This
Yeah.
this is fairly simple, I
Yeah.
think,
yeah.
and if we're not unanimously approve it too, and say they took care of the things we were concerned about, we're very happy with this. It should kind of expedite us through the town board too, in theory.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm all for as efficient a method for this as possible.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's going back and forth way too many times.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
for the-
lean to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just concerned to make sure that, because it's in a residential area, just so the community has to say in case anybody has a feeling about it. Just, but if the town's doing it, yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
whatever you said where it doesn't have to come back, if we approve it conditionally, then we're done.
okay,
Okay, that's what I'm.
And then the town has to deal with it.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
So how do we do a conditional? What?
So we can kind of
Just your.
do it right now, or if you want to wait to the next meeting and we can just finish it then.
No, we're done, man.
Yeah.
We're done. So they took care of what we needed done and,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, so.
give it to the town board, we'll let it go.
yeah,
So if we just take the same concept as number 9, since that was a site plan review approval,
mhm.
and if you
The last statement.
craft some statement that the planning board recommends the town board grant approval of the proposal, and the planning board approves the site plan as proposed on this site plan. Then we can throw something together and get us sign off.
Should we specify which one of the two drawings they're looking at?
There are 2 different
That's a
proposals.
good idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think the second one is the one you
Yeah.
want, where it goes
yeah,
down to there.
Yeah.
The one has the green, which I think.
Yeah, that includes the leach field as well.
Yeah, the other
one
is the underground.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they have names, hang on. They have like a letter,
Well, the one that you're referencing would be dated 4/30, so we can reference that one, because the earlier one was dated 4/17.
okay.
yeah.
and it's drawing C-1.0
Yes.
as opposed.
Well, they're both the same. That's
Oh,
not,
yeah, they
it's the
are.
date you have to go
Yeah,
by,
okay,
4/30/24.
Okay,
Good. So, Molly, did you get those words?
Right.
Oh, you're getting, okay. Well,
Well, then we have to make a motion on
okay.
those
Those
words.
words.
Right,
Right.
but here's the question, what are we specifically approving? Not the construction of the lead to, but, or is it that?
No, that's
Site
building,
plan.
that's building, we're just doing site plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's recommending approval to the town board to amend the zoning code.
Right.
Okay.
To allow the
Hang on,
lead
right
to.
there.
to allow the lane to-
You can't write that fast.
I got up to amend the zoning code, what was next?
The planning board hereby recommends the town board approves.
This,
To amend.
The site to
amend.
yeah,
The zoning
The
code,
development, zoning code for development district 8.
district what? 8.
Okay,
Uh-huh. That's it,
subject to
okay,
Yeah,
the condition of approval
approval.
From the plan.
No, wait, wait.
Plan for this.
Based, no, it doesn't have to be with a, agreement with the map,
Site, yeah, site, was it C2?
site
Yeah,
plan
C2.
map.
It's C1, um,
4:30.
there's there's C -1.0.
April
Well,
20.
it's the, yeah. and
Is this
it's a
one
Different
then?
date though.
April 30th.
April 30th.
Yeah. April 30th.
We recommend to the town board that they amend the zoning code for development district 08 in agreement with the site plan dated April 30, 2024, map C-1. Is that sufficient?
Yeah, C-1.0.
Zero.
Right.
Recommend.
Should probably throw C-2.0. There are 2 pages, it's a detail drawing.
Okay, and what is that number?
That's the 2.0 is the trench.
Okay. Schematic.
Well, okay, both of these sets of drawings are noted C1, C.
Yeah, but it's the date,
It's the
4/30,
date.
24. One was 4/17. We're going with the 4/30.
Right, okay.
It's gonna take longer just to figure this out than the whole thing.
It's all right. We don't have to come back for another meeting.
I know.
With you.
Specify that it's not the French drain, because I don't think our engineer separated the two, because he was kind of doing this on the fly, and he did it on the same map. So that second page was the detail for the French drain, but
Right.
if you wanna make it more
That's-
firm on
that's
your
what we're
side.
looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I-
for the underground drain diversion trench detail, map
Right.
C-2.0.
that works for us.
Okay. Okay. So, Molly, you want us to read this to you aloud, or did you get that?
So you recommend the town board amends the zoning code for development district eight to the commission. Approval.
She lost us on the
Okay.
letters again.
Okay. All right, and wait a minute, after District 08, it's, it's like, we recommend to the town board they amend the zoning code for development district 8. Condition with our approval, right? It's just with our approval. And then subject to the caveat or subject to that the site plan 30-2024 map C-1.0 and C2-0 schematic be approved, or be accepted. There's some long verbs in there,
Yeah, the planning board accepted the site plan.
with the understanding that
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good.
okay,
Yeah.
with the understanding that the town planning board
As
approved
Yeah.
and accepted the site plan, okay. All right, so now, do you want me to just to send this to you guys? Or send this to Molly or what?
Send it to us. So I would like to read.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. Totally fair. I'm going to apply all. And it's still sloppy, but. There, I just sent it, and I think Molly, you should got it too. Molly, do you?
I got it.
Okay. It's not quite clean yet. Yeah, okay. Spellings.
So then this is. Yeah, I got, the site plan identified as April 30th. Yeah.
I think what you have to put in there is the planning board recommends.
Yeah, I'm working
Not-
on it.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I see what Rebecca sent.
Yes, that,
And are we amending the zoning code?
Yeah.
Well, for zone, yeah, the zone 8,
It is
because
zoning.
it specifically said to add another building or this late
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
you've
right.
got to go ahead and amend the original
Yeah, amended, so.
zone 8.
In the map.
It says Development District 8, but I think in parentheses, you should put down Moore's Marina, so
Good
we
idea.
know, because they
Yeah.
might not know what
The
8
numbers
is.
change. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Trace overkill is not bad.
Woody feels it better. I agree totally. Located in one.
What did we call it? Development District?
8.
Or 8.8 or what?
No,
Just
just
8.0.
It's just 8.
8,
And
yeah,
then
District 8.
parentheses, bring Moore's
And then, yeah, put in parentheses Moore's Marina, because
Marina.
that's what it is.
Oh, okay. Is there an E on Moore's?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then E on Marine, not an A, please.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. All right, here's what I've got.
Okay.
The Town of Ulysses Planning Board has accepted the site plan dated April 30, 2024. Map C.1.0 and C.2. C-2.0 schematic for the underground drain diversion trench detail. Therefore, we recommend the Town of Ulysses Town Board
Sounds good.
Yeah.
amend the zoning code for
Nice.
development 8.
More
Development 8,
District 8.
District 8.
District
Moore's
8.
Marine.
Right.
Parentheses. I'll send this out.
Perfect.
Phew, that was more work than
It's all right. It's worth the fight.
I love the teamwork. I do. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just don't have it in you, like, oh, thank God, you guys are pulling your. You know, you take turns being the ones that will, okay. It helps. It helps.
We can just have it.
Sign, yeah.
So we need to make a.
Do we need to make a motion?
Yeah, but-
Well, wait, he's gonna print it out.
Oh, okay.
So it would be resolution number 10.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
a resolution, so we have to.
Yeah.
I mean, he can rewrite it later, but at least we'll have something.
Right.
That we have.
Good idea.
Did you send it out?
I did.
Oh, you did? I didn't get it yet. I got Rebecca's right away.
Well, it's like the mail, it's gotta go to Rochester. and then-
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Yeah, got it, got it.
no, not me.
Town, they're way too fast.
The thing is, the meal's good.
Yeah, that's, yeah, we don't care if you get it.
Not good.
Oh,
Well, it will be good, but you know, we're gonna have to get it to do it. It takes a while. It takes a while. It does. Precise writing is precise thinking. I know. Yeah.
Nothing yet.
Right.
Niels, did you get it?
Not yet.
Got it, you got it, and I got it?
Yeah.
Is it
Well, you're
completely
sitting next
me?
to him, that's probably.
I'm pretty sure it's not right there.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Did Molly get it? She just said,
She's not logged in.
want us to read it out loud again, so you can just type it, Niels? It's saying,
You're tempting fate here.
Check your job, email, just.
So I see you already have it, okay.
So I'm working on it.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to sign today, we don't have to, but I mean, you could just make a motion, state what you stated, and then make a vote on it, and then we can be done.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
All right, that way it's done.
Go for it,
Yeah.
So.
read it out.
All right. You don't need to read back. That's why.
Oh, you only sent it?
Sorry.
Oh.
All right,
Oh, you didn't hit reply all.
I was gonna
You
ask
hit reply, not reply all.
all
Okay,
right.
got it.
I do a reply all. I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially the
Please.
members.
I told you, it's gonna take longer just to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this is the approval from us.
I know,
That's
but
a second, it's already. Well, see, that explains it then, that's good.
Yeah.
It's when you hit reply all, and then it just reply, that's when you're really like, oh.
I never do that.
I apologize, folks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well,
We
still,
had
let's
that
just read it, take the
23
resolution.
meetings and 2 hearings 6 years ago. 2 meetings is nothing.
All right. Everybody get ding.
Yeah,
There, got it.
oh, got it, okay,
There's no, who makes the resolution?
get it too?
Can we go ahead and do
Yeah.
the, read it?
No good, now he can copy it and paste it, and then we'll be all set.
The town of okay, so the resolution is the town of Ulysses Planning Board has accepted the site plan dated April 30th, 2024, map C10 and C 2.0 schematic for the underground drain diversion trench detail. Therefore, we recommend the town of Ulysses Town Board amend the zoning code for Development District 8, Moores Marine.
Yes.
Like that,
You making the motion?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congrats.
That was
Thank
tough.
you.
Okay, well, so,
So next, so will it, then will it get?
Thank you for working.
Okay.
yeah, it's obviously a lot. Thank you.
So I'll touch base with Caitlin to see when we can get you on the town board agenda next. It might not be next week, but it might be the 28th. Just let you know. That's 3 weeks from now.
That's good to take that, our daughter graduating and stuff, so we work out.
Oh, so that's preferred?
We have a college graduation
Yeah.
on the weekend of the 18th, so were you meaning like next Tuesday or like, it
It,
doesn't matter, just whenever you get.
okay,
That's
it can either be the 14th, which might be tight for them. More likely, it might be the 28th.
We could do either.
Yep.
That's in between, so we could absolutely do either, thank you. Yep, just let us know.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for leaving.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Rebecca, it's.
All right.
Okay, so folks, we got an email today
Mhm.
and Carl, I didn't have your email, so I'm sorry I didn't copy it. Normally
Yeah,
I would, but I
that's
forgot. And we needed a fast response once I found it. So we were emailed today by Eva Dawson that the town legislative board had been told by our town board, Caitlin, that they would take the parcel down in the conservation zone and put it into the ag district. Now, we had gone through quite a bit of conversation about that because we had the extension educator come 2 times. We all talked about it like 3 times. And decided that we were not comfortable with that because it's in the conservation zone. And we said, and we had good arguments for it. And then Pete and I went to the legislature and presented those arguments. So it was a bit of a surprise today to find that, wait a minute, we had made, we put a lot of time into it. We came up with very good logic for it. We agreed and went and presented, and then it was ignored. And Caitlin Olson said it was okay to put it in the ag district. And it was surprising to me because it's like, we put a lot of time into the things we come up with, and we put a lot of effort here, and at least communicate with us. Maybe we would have presented our arguments to her. So, that's why I said, so I got it late. I had responsibilities today, so I said, I can't come tonight. Would you present this? Because she obviously, what's your argument here? Because I don't feel comfortable doing this. And then, right before we came, Pete said, I'm going. So Pete's there, we're presenting our argument again. I would like to know what happened. I feel like I really respect what we do here. We put a lot of work into it. And so why was that? Why were we bypassed?
Yeah,
So do you know anything? Because I was
Yeah,
hoping
I do.
Mike will or, okay, what do you? know?
yeah, because I was there.
Okay,
So what happened, the last planning board meeting, I was there for the water committee.
you mean the last board meeting?
Yeah, the
Town
town
board.
board meeting, I'm sorry. The town board meeting, I was there because of the water committee
Mhm.
proposal that we had, the ARPA fund thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there and this comes up, the district thing, and I was
Mhm.
curious about it, like, what, I thought they were just gonna approve it, because, or disapprove it, like
Mhm.
we had recommended. Well, it turns out that someone had talked to one of the board members, Elizabeth Weatherby, and told her that there was a regulation that in the regulations, the town does have approval over the, she wasn't specific about it. And she said that the town does have the ability to say whether something about some a plan would be reviewed, accepted or not, even if it was outside of the zone, the code.
I'm not with you. Say that
I
again,
know.
please.
So
She's saying that we do have the right to.
That
the
we
town
do,
does-
that
Can
there-
say yes or no.
yes or no, there's an
Plot together.
appeal process so
Okay.
that the town has
We
to,
made a yes or no to it being in the ag district.
no. Not in the ag district, that once it's in the ag district and they want to build something that's outside of the code for that area. You know, it's in the conservation zone, and
Mhm,
if you look at the conservation code zoning,
mhm.
this wouldn't be allowed.
Right.
But because they're in the ag district, they
Mhm.
want to do it, so there's an appeal process. So what was unclear to me at the time, because she didn't have the rule in
Right,
front of her or
right.
anything, was whether it was, first it comes to us and we say no, and then they go get an appeal to DEC and get it reversed, or vice versa. You go to DEC and then we have to go to DEC and get it reversed. It
Uh-huh.
was that mechanics, we didn't have any of the code or whatever she was going by. And so she just threw it out at me, and we had never heard that before.
And this is
My
Liz Weatherby
recollection,
saying this, so,
yeah,
and because of that, they approved it?
so, well, there's more to it,
Okay.
so that blindsided me, and you know, I couldn't deny it,
Yeah.
because we didn't, but I'm just verifying with you, we never heard anything on
No.
that score. It was pretty clear
Yeah.
that if it was an ag district, we couldn't
Right, and we're
say
actually
anything
asking,
about it.
educate, I mean, the agent that, and that was
Multiple
not,
times,
right,
yeah,
that was,
he
that was
did.
one, there was this kind of loophole. No,
Right.
okay, so then what happened?
Yeah, and Liz had been contacted by the landowner,
Mhm,
you know, because they were upset about it, which was another thing we didn't really know, that they
Mhm.
really were, that they had concerns about it and wanted to be in the district to begin with.
mhm.
So then there was a note that happened last Thursday.
No, wait a
So,
minute, back up. So that happened at the meeting, but they did pass it or make a resolution.
they
That was
didn't.
just information.
it was information because nobody knew what the rules were, where the
Mhm.
rules were coming from.
Mhm.
And when they asked me, because I was there and representing the planning board, I didn't know, all I could say is, no, we were never told that,
Uh-huh.
and so they said, well, we'll have to check with the
Yeah.
lawyer. So they did check with the lawyer, and they got the rules, and it turns out.
Nick is our lawyer.
Nate.
Nate, I'm sorry,
Right,
Nate.
yeah, so I brought this and, that came from Kate, so they didn't make the decision, they didn't pass a resolution or anything at that point.
Mhm.
And this happened. May 1st, Caitlin sent a note to Pete that said that at the last town board meeting, we discussed the issue of the currently organic farm located in conservation zone and the request to be included in the update to the agricultural district. There was a question as to whether local zoning does or does not apply to ag properties within state ag districts. We received guidance from our attorney. Please see his information below. Given this finding that a property would still have to appeal and seek relief from a specific aspect of our zoning in order to avoid compliance. I will not be sending a letter requesting the exclusion of this property from the New York State Ag District per the town board discussion. So the town's not sending any letter at all saying yay or nay, is my read of that. So she says, I read through the document linked below and the farms, I don't have all of the documents that go with this thing. I read through the document linked below and the farms that think the zoning restrictions are too restrictive have to request an exemption from New York State. Otherwise, the local zoning remains in effect. Thank you to everyone who participated in this process. And then from Nate, quotes from Nate, the lawyer. My understanding is that they aren't exempt from zoning per se, but instead are exempt to the extent that and markets determines the local regulations unduly restrict farming operations. So section 305A of the Ag and Markets Law, so that's what they're looking at. And the department's guidance on it explains this process and it gives a link to it, which I did not have time to look at. But then Pete sent a note back after that saying, and this is important because that says that you may have some responsibility. They have to go apply to New York State.
No, wait, I'm sorry, I'm losing you here. So Pete actually responds to the.
Yeah, let me read that.
Okay.
That would be better.
And he says what? Because he went there tonight to see it up for this, which is kind of,
Yeah.
now I'm a lot more information. Okay, so.
Right. So Crystal Buck of the County Ag and Farmland Production Board spoke twice at the meetings of the planning board, and the planning board subsequently sent a letter to Ag and Farmland Production Board in December stating the planning board was opposition to inclusion of it in the district. Our support of inclusion of two properties that are not in the conservation zone. Subsequently, myself and Rebecca spoke in front of the TC legislature a few months ago to explain the planning board's opposition to inclusion of this property. I have been invited back to speak to the TC Leg at their May 7th meeting, legislator. Like, that's TC Thompson County legislator at their May 7th meeting to provide further education on our position. The 305 review section that you include above states in no uncertain terms that once a parcel is included in the ag district, the town no longer has final control of the zoning in that parcel. If a local government is unwilling to modify a restrictive law, the department is authorized to take action to compel compliance with the ag district's law. The New York State Court of Appeals has consistently ruled that these orders are entitled to administrative deference in the interpretation and administration of this important right to farm protection. And then he also met with somebody called Graham Savio, a member of the Farmland Protection Board, who conveyed that the board members hold the position that zoning restrictions in the town of Ulysses are too restrictive, and that New York State Ag and Market zoning permits much larger square footage for buildings among the differences in zoning that are not in alignment with the unique sensitive nature of the conservation zone. As you are aware, the regulations in the conservation zone are intended to protect this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it goes on with our whole litany. It should be superseded by New York State Ag and Market zoning as 305 would permit the parcel were included in the art district.
Should not be for supersede.
Yeah, I probably misread that.
Did we get copied on this?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
further down in that email.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, currently the parcel receives ag
Wait,
assessment
what's the date of
benefits.
the email? I-
This is from
Oh,
Deborah.
this is today's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this is I didn't get that one, so,
And what is this? This is all in this email? All this stuff between Caitlin and
Sort of this-
me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Currently, the parcel receives ag assessment benefits, which give it the same economic advantage as being in the ag district without forfeiting the town's control of zoning. The planning board maintains opposition to inclusion.
That's,
That's it. And then Caitlin was responded with just that, as you know. No, this was Annie. Okay, this was Ann Foreman. Then responded to it. She unfortunately wasn't gonna be there. So that's why Pete had to go. She couldn't defend it one way or another, because she had a funeral she has to go to.
Okay, thank you very much. I
I
was,
know. Well, I saw this, on my way to another and had no time to react. I talked to Ann about it and found out that she wasn't going to be able to be there. And she said that there was one other person that was opposed to it as well. On the board.
Mhm.
So so I was happy to see that Pete was gonna go
Yep.
to this today, because he knows more, because I didn't even know at that time what the 305 review was.
okay,
So it sounds like, so my interpretation of this is that we can inflict zoning constraints. Then the landowner can go to New York State Ag and Markets and get retrieval from it, and most likely they will get it. Or that's the way it sounded from Pete's interpretation. I'm not sure why he has that sense,
Yeah,
that's
But
if it's
the
in the
problem-
ag district. If it's not, none of this happens. They just stay under our,
it sounds like what they want is they want to build something there.
Yeah.
And not have to go through zoning.
Well, and here, I have a question for Niels. I know what he's.
Because,
So that property, the house, the building, the farm, the barn that they built near ours,
Oh, the relocation, yeah.
yeah, the relocation.
what is this?
If it's a farm that's built in right off our property. And it's quite tall and exceeds my guess is it exceeds, it may not even exceed, but it sure looks like it exceeds 32-foot,
Mhm.
limit that people have.
How many stories is it? 2-story
You
with a
can't
roof?
tell, it's a barn.
It's
you know.
just a
Well, no, it's a-
four-sided barn.
Is it, if it's 2 stories with a roof, it's probably.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty big to me, and then it's up off on cinder blocks off the ground as well. But there was no requirement that, because they said that it was gonna be used for farming, and it is in the ag district.
Mhm.
Right, but
right?
there is no
That
farm
makes
there.
There isn't a farm at the moment, no.
No, it could be 10
I
years
know.
from now,
Right, when they grow their apple trees, right?
20 years from
That
now.
aren't there yet.
So,
And so my objection, of course, at the time that I brought it up with Niels was they had this even more bigger roof than they have now. That blew off in the storm while they were building it, so it was, but we could, so they should have been subject to zoning. Right, based on this. Is that your interpretation?
So. My interpretation, given that information that Nate sent, so I
Yeah.
haven't gone through all that, but there's a ton of links and information. And
Is
that
there?
stuff that Nate sent, which is good. So the property you're talking about, ag district, but also ag zone. So there's provisions in the ag zone that
Hmm,
give greater flexibility to farm than
You're
the
right, you're
CZ
right, you're
zone.
right, you're right, yeah.
What I'm. So basically to your point, yes, I mean, how I. Have heard it and interpret it now is if they come in for like a barn silo or something. They have to comply with zoning code. And then. Say they build something without permits. And then we do a violation letter to them. They can either. It sounds like they have 1 or 2 options. They can appeal to the BZA. Or they can go straight and appeal to the state.
Mhm.
For exemption. How I read the stuff. That from the information that Nate sent is that the state then. Starts a dialogue with the town to figure out if our zoning regulations are too restrictive.
Okay,
I don't know if it's an automatic, hey, your regulations are too restrictive. It sounds like there's more like a dialogue that. Is engaged and then we try to
Okay.
maybe find a middle ground.
okay,
But that process, I don't know what exactly how that process plays out.
right, right,
So I have a question. So I'm in the ag zone, okay? So I wanna build myself a barn. I don't have to come and get anything, do I?
Well, so barns. Agricultural buildings can go up to 20,000 square feet. Right, so if they want to do anything larger, that it has to go to the BZA.
Well, no, if I just wanna put up a barn. I'm a beekeeper, and that in New York State, you're considered a farmer. So I can put up. Whatever I want, basically, up to 20,000 square feet.
Up to 20,000 square feet.
that's huge.
Well, if I knew that, I
Sure.
wouldn't have had to get a building
Again,
permit for my
but
garage.
what I don't know is the height too, because most barns are that tall unless you're gonna raise hay, unless you have hay.
So that means that I can put up another garage and call it a barn, and it's because I'm a beekeeper.
Yeah,
But I'll also say that the information, so if they appeal to the state, it has to be a commercial. I think one of the cruxes is it has to be a commercial farming operation, which is different than like someone who's just doing it.
Start.
Yeah, as a hobby or something like that. So as part of that, you have to make 10,000 a year.
Yeah.
If you're 7 acres or more, if you're less than 7 acres, I believe you have to make 50,000 in the last 2 years. So, but it has to be.
So the barn that is by
they're not
Linda,
growing anything.
are they
Nothing's been
commercial?
grown there for at least 20 years.
Are they commercial? I mean, did they register as a commercial farm yet?
But the ag zone is not as restrictive, so I don't, so the floor
Yeah.
plans that I remember from Mars were less than 20,000 square feet. The height is a weird questionable thing that
Yeah,
the code doesn't go into.
right,
So-
But if they're not making any money, how could you consider them a commercial farm? Even if it's in an
They're
ag
just
district?
subject to the AR zone regs.
Yeah, but you just told me they have to make X amount of dollars.
That's if they're appealing to the state. As a, if
No,
they're
it's
appealing,
not in our zoning law.
Right.
they have to make so much.
So if they go to the state, they have to prove they're making that
They're
income.
a
So-
commercial.
Yeah, right.
So Mo, no half acre storage facility for you, buddy.
Unless your honey is selling for big bucks.
Right now, it's like $75 a gallon, so yeah, probably could.
Yay.
Well, I want to make one little statement here.
Yeah.
I was a little perplexed, I'll just use that word, perplexed by Caitlin's offhanded manner of saying, just do what you want. It just, that's what got me.
Mhm.
Yeah, without consulting us again.
Right, and no resolution
Mhm.
or, you know, I
Right.
don't know, just, anyway.
I also was like,
So, oh, excuse me, has it been approved then?
we don't know.
By
I
the
don't
town?
know if,
Well, we don't know.
Let's say, wait till we hear from Pete.
yeah, and I don't know how they'll.
Well, I expect those people are, they wanted to build something there, and this is the way they can do it without coming to us.
So let's put on the agenda for next time to have Pete give us an update, you know,
Yeah,
again,
I agree.
little Flexville. Really. All right, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So, those fun times.
All right.
Well, that's fun, no? Are we ready to
You
do?
ready to adjourn?
Oh, could I make a motion?
Well, do you have a report on the company?
No, not yet. We're meeting, I'm sorry, no, we're meeting on Thursday. And
Okay.
we're doing the evaluations on Thursday, so I have nothing to really report until we do the evaluation.
There's no town board meeting.
Right.
No, nobody here, so
We don't have our liaison.
I'll make the motion then.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All over adjourn.
Aye.
You are certainly like.